What's up, folks, and welcome to this week's episode of the Pilot Review Show. As always, I am Captain Blade J52, and this week I am joined by the illustrious TeacherKirby.
Ooh, I'm illustrious. Hey, folks.
And the man with the plan of the RP Hour is Artie.
Hiya.
It's got quite a bit of stuff to go over this week, folks. So I suppose we should just go ahead and dive into that and get started. This week we have our new Sphere Builder lockbox. And if Google Chrome will cooperate with me, God forbid it does that. But, and it appears my food also got here. One moment.
Alright, so while he's getting food, and there we go. So we do have the new Sphere Builder lockbox. So it says, notorious for their actions during the Temporal Cold War, the Sphere Builders are an extra-dimensional race best known for their creation of the Delphic Expanse. So, while the network of spheres which generated the Delphic Expanse was destroyed in the mid-22nd century by Captain Archer, the impact of the Sphere Builders can be seen in other eras, such as during the Battle of Procyon V. So their technology is highly unstable in our area, but suffice to say we managed to save a few things. So we have the Delphic Shockwave, and this produces shockwave power when used, leaves a hazard in its wake which deals radiation damage. Let's see, the Delphic Phasing, critically hitting your foes gives a stacking short duration energy resistance buff, and then at 10 stacks you gain immunity to energy damage for a short duration. Okay, additionally, so for the ground we have...
Sorry about that. Expecting the food to be
That's
done quick.
okay, I picked it up.
Alright.
I picked it up for you. So for the ground we have some distributed shield rerouting, some assault drone fabrication, those are both for engineering. For science, we have the genetic resequencer tricorder analysis, and that gives you, tricorder scan gives you a crit severity buff. Sorry, for the engineering, distributed shield rerouting, reroute power to shields, applies a lesser shield heal to nearby allies. Assault drone fabrication, engineering, support drones gain an additional wide beam attack. Tricorder analysis, science, tricorder scan gives you a crit severity buff, and nanoprobe contagion for science, reduce the recharge time of nanoprobe infestation if the primary target dies while it is active. Security detail for tactical, security escorts may now throw grenades, and combined assault for tactical, reduce the recharge time of fire on my mark, ground if the target dies while it is active. So we are looking at the genetic resequencers. We're on to space there, Chris, if you wanted to pick up.
Alrighty. Anyways, for our engineers, we have the EPS overload. The power transfer gives an additional effect based on which power level was highest at the time of activation. And then, I know you folks can't see this on the stream right now, which I really need to update that stuff so you can see it, but we have the weapons. If your weapons is the highest power, you get some crit chance. If it's engines, you get armor pin. If it's shields, you get shield pin. Kind of makes sense. And then if you get your aux power to the highest, you get some critical severity. And we have the Nadion bypass for engineering. Your Nadion inversion gets some energy weapon damage. For science, your sub-nuke drains power from the target to increase your power levels, which kind of interests me. And you have Photonic Fleet for a 4th Photonic ship for science. Now this one I can see getting used a lot. Go down fighting can be used at any hull level for tactical. And then reduce the recharge time of fire on my mark in space if the target dies while it is active. So needless to say, quite a few different traits and everything that we've got to pick from. We'll have some stuff in the show notes for you guys so we don't overload you with information all at once.
Now, I'll be honest, the two that stand out to me are the Nadian bypass for engineers, because that is, while it is a small buff, and it's category 1, meaning it's a pretty small buff, it is one of the few ways that engineers can buff their energy weapon damage, so it is an extra way they can do that. For a good day to die, so what I've seen by actually looking at the stats on it since it's come out, is that basically at any hull level you activate it at, if you're over 50%, it treats it as though your hull is at 50%, so it gives you the damage bonus from that, which is relatively small. I believe it's 24% if I remember rightly.
Yes.
So yeah.
Still not bad.
So it's not a huge buff, but if you're one of those people that does have a hard time getting the perfect go down fighting, or getting it at all in certain matches, then this might be something to help you get that last little bit out of
Indeed.
out of your go down fighting.
So, there anything out of this? I know we've got a lot of stuff in the box that that people can get and play around with. Anything in particular that stands out to you, Sir Artie?
I see some pretty elegant weapons up there.
Sweet.
Yeah, from what the picture shows, like, I could guess be some type of Polaron or something. I'm not too sure. But they have some intricate designs on them. It's pretty interesting. As well as at the very bottom, they have Rottweilers. New dogs, new pets.
Love them dogs.
I'm happy. But that's basically it from my end.
Alright, take a quick look at our stats here, and again, if Google Chrome will cooperate with me, God forbid it ever does that. But anyway, we have 3 ships this go around. We have the Danos Dreadnought Carrier, and we have the Edolg Science Vessel, and I'm probably butchering these names, by the way. And then we have the Tier 5 Erebus Destroyer, which can be upgraded to Tier 5U. But some of the stats, if I can scroll worth of crap today, this I did find a bit interesting, is the new ships. They have the defensive and offensive and support configurations that we saw on the temporal ships if you bought the pack, where you can fire the molecular deconstruction beam. So, just as an example for a carrier, I believe that's this one. Yep, this is the carrier. We have for bridge officer stations, a Commander Tactical / Temporal Ops, Lieutenant Engineering Command. Then we have an Ensign Science, Lieutenant Commander Science, and Lieutenant Commander Universal. And then 4-3-4 console layouts, so 4 Tactical, 3 Engineer, and 4 Science. Then the Universal console is the Chronoton Fragmentation Warhead Launcher, 2 hangar bays. So some pretty good stuff with the carrier there. Any thoughts on that one before we take a quick look at some of the other ships?
Looks pretty tactical heavy for what I usually see in a carrier.
Yeah, it looks
the
like
Commander Tactical, yeah.
Yeah, it looks like it's meant to give out a hell of a beating compared to most of the carriers we've seen.
Mm-hmm.
Indeed. And coming to our next ship, this is the Edolg Science Vessel. Actually, sold one of these not too long ago. Kind of wishing I hadn't now, but anyway, we have it as a Lieutenant Commander Tactical, a Lieutenant Engineering Intel, an Ensign Science, a Commander Science Temp Ops, and a Lieutenant Commander Universal. 46k base hull at 60. And then it has 4 Tactical, 2 Engineering, 5 Science. And it's far as weapons layout, is a 4-2. So that's a little bit interesting, I guess. And we have the Quantum Deceleration Field Generator. So, some pretty decent stats, I think. What about you guys?
I thought the 4-2 weapons layout was interesting as well. Not used to seeing that for a science. Used to seeing the balanced 3-3. So
I see that most people can get some interesting builds with this, since there's a universal lieutenant commander in there. I'm wondering how that's going to fit out for everyone.
Opens up some possibilities for sure. Out of those two, me personally, I would probably try the Dreadnought myself before I would the actual science ship, just because I'm not really a science person, of course. That shouldn't really come as a shock to you guys, but... Then this is one that actually does kind of interest me. We'll take a quick look at the Tier 5 before we move on to some of our other stuff that we've got to cover. I know I'm kind of running a little bit behind on everything, but... we have the Tier 5 Airbus Destroyer. This one, keep in mind as I read these stats, this is going to be for the T5 version. This can upgrade to T5U, so this is, I guess, the secondary version of a Sphere Builder ship. Starting hull strength is 28,500, shield modifier of 0.95. We have a 4-3 layout. Bridge officer stations are a Lieutenant Tactical, a Commander Tactical, a Lieutenant Engineering, an Ensign Science, and a Lieutenant Commander Science. Then we have 4 Tactical, 1 Engineering, 4 Science, a base turn of 16.5 per second. Then whenever it upgrades to T5U, it goes to 38k base hull at level 60 and 32,775 at 50. Gains a tactical seat, and it gets the precise weapon systems, enhanced weapon banks, devastating weaponry, and enhanced weapon systems for its masteries. So, pretty nice little ship there. At least I think personally. Any thoughts on that? Anybody compared to some of the other secondaries they've gave us lately?
Only one engineering console.
Yeah.
That's interesting.
Yeah, and only a lieutenant engineering slot. They're going to probably be lacking on some heals, but they can pick that up with science.
True. Then lastly, coming into some of our consoles really quickly, we have our Chronoton Fragmentation Warhead Launcher. Can kind of see that. It provides a passive bonus to critical chance and turn rate. And then, whenever you use it, the ability is activated, your starship will launch a projectile that will detonate in a large area of effect. Shortly before hitting your target, foes hit by this explosion will be bombarded with Chronoton Warhead Fragments, which will cause heavy kinetic damage, have their turn rate and flight speed drastically reduced. After a short countdown, these fragments will explode, inflicting shield penetration or penetrating heavy kinetic damage. Explosion also knocks a random subsystem offline. So, could potentially be a nice little offensive tool, get you out of jail for free. I'll have everything up in the show notes for you guys so you can check that out. But, quickly scroll down so folks on the local recording will be able to see this. But, quite a bit of stuff, definitely. As far as the lockbox goes, I definitely advise everybody to check that out. Quite a bit of fun little toys. Then, this brings us to our next article, finally. We have our 15% key sale that's going on this weekend. So if you've been looking to take a chance on some lock boxes, either getting yourself a Keldon maybe, or something else from the Infinity boxes, or maybe you're wanting to get something out of the new box, now's your chance to get some keys.
And remember, that is for the PC players, yeah.
Indeed. So normally, your 10-pack of keys would cost you 1,125 Zen. With the sale going on, that's only around 956. So $10, you can get a pack of keys. And then if you're looking for just a singular key, maybe you just want to crack a box just to say you did, then instead of $1.25, it's only $1.06, essentially. But this brings us on into our patch notes on the 25th.
Yes, and
We've
this
got-
again is for the PC.
Yep, and this is for the PC. We've got quite a bit of stuff to go over this week for the patch notes. That's why I wanted to get to these kind of quicker. Everything we have our new featured episode, The Echoes of Light, and also our Starbase K13. I can't talk today. Apparently. I'm going to blame the lack of food, but anyway. Then we have our kit revamps, some graphics updates, and some different content issues, everything. Actually, we're kind of here at K13, actually. Take a quick little pan around on the camera so y'all can see the system there. But, is there anything in particular that stands out to you guys straight off the top of your head looking at some of this stuff?
Well, under General, each character has been granted 12 additional inventory slots for free. So, yay. But the one that I'm not sure why they did this, but a player must be at least level 10 to purchase master keys. I'm assuming this means from the C-store, but it doesn't say specifically. But then it does say this will not prevent players from being able to trade keys and use them if under level 10. So if you can still use them and trade them if you're under level 10, I'm not sure why they did this.
I actually did test that because, of course, I've got a banking tool to do a lot of my stuff on, cracking boxes and everything.
Yep.
And it didn't let him purchase the keys. It did, however, let him buy them off the exchange, so that does just apply to the C-store itself. My guess is that it has to do with the bots, or to try to prevent stuff like that from going on. You know, some bot comes on after it's took control of some poor sap's account, and then cleans out his Zen by buying a bunch of keys on a lobby or something. If I had to venture a guess, that's what I would say that it's for. But I'm not really sure, honestly. But, wait, anything for you that stands out right off the top of your head, Artie?
Nothing exact. Would like to point out that the kit module stuff, yeah, it's just direct equip. It doesn't go straight into the kit anymore. So don't freak out with that. They can be upgraded, so that's a good thing. That's basically it. There was one thing further down. I don't remember where it was. Hold on. It said something about the microphoton torpedo module is now specific, saying that it could only be used by tactical players. So that's good that it mentioned that. Yeah, here it is. The module microphoton torpedo launcher now states that it's restricted to usage by tactical career officers. The vendor sells value of the override shield safeties kit module to consistent with other modules of the same type, meaning that it just passes on to the other career officers of whatever their thing is, I guess.
Okay. So, as I'm scrolling down slowly...
There was one more. Sorry, there was one more, and I had to actually search for this again. For KDF characters, you may remember that there used to be a mission that you had to play Test of Metal. You had to play through it in order to get your first ability to get a new starship, and if you didn't go through it and play through it, then you weren't able to get a whole lot of other things as you leveled up if you had skipped this mission and moved on. So now they've taken out Test of Metal and replaced it with just a regular promotion mission. So yay!
It's a nice little something there.
Yeah. Because like what I used to do on a lot of my KDF, I'd take it down to Defera and just do Defera every day, and you'd gain a level every day doing that. You know, so I'd never play through the story, but then I never got things like my cover shield. Or other things, and it really didn't matter because they were going to be just Defera run into. So, but I wanted the cover shield, and so I had to actually go back and play through those and play through that mission to get all my promotions.
Indeed.
Yeah.
quite
Oh,
a bit of... Oh, go ahead.
Yeah, I found another one that actually was on the known problem list for a while. I just lost it. It was about the Fleet Aquarius Light Escort from being able to use the enhanced inertial dampener field console. It's now resolved that issue, so now we can use that again. Yay!
Sweet. But yeah,
Although
although
they still haven't fixed the graphic issue with the Aquarius yet, so
yeah, they'll probably get that fixed soon enough.
I was going to say the other one. They've removed the handoff mission Battle Group Omega and replaced it with a handoff mission for the Borg Arc and a separate one for the Undine Arc. So if you're looking for the Battle Group Omega physical location, it has been removed, but don't worry, you don't have to go there anymore before you start the Borg Arc like you used to.
I would definitely say some quality of life improvements there. And there's quite a bit of notes. A couple that I do want to point out is they did try to update some of the graphics to meet the standards of the DirectX compatible cards, the DX11 cards specifically. And then the only downside is if you don't have a DX11 compatible card, such as you're stuck with a DX9 or a DX10, you won't be able to use the new lighting system, but you should still be able to play. And then I know there was a few issues with that, where people were having some issues with the AMD cards that should have been resolved as of the patch Thursday as well. But felt that was worthy of a note since they were mentioning the graphics and everything here. One thing that I did see, which is pretty good if you're like me and you're a pack rat and you have every little piece of equipment ever, just about it, each character has been granted 12 additional inventory slots for free, so yay, free inventory.
Yay!
It's not like I had almost maxed anyway.
Yeah, true. But still, it's a nice little something to get, and then you can see some of the issues they've resolved with the Stranded in Space. Let's see. I know this one was an issue that people had reported a while back that actually did get fixed. Installation 18 resolved an issue where reaching an objective location did not advance the mission step. So in other words, if you got stuck behind the door, what I'm gathering from that should be fixed. Hopefully. If not, then, well, you folks should know what to do. Let me know, let one of these two know, and they'll get it to me. But anyway, quite a bit of stuff from the patch notes. We'll have that up in the show notes for everybody.
Yes, we love to give him paperwork.
Yeah, they love to give me paperwork.
He thinks telling you to tell us about it is going to give him less paperwork, but really it just all comes to him anyway.
Yeah, we just wait for when he feels like there's nothing on his desk, and then we just slam it there.
Well, I consider them my two unpaid secretaries. I mean, what? had to go there. But moving along to our next article, we have the Agents of Yesterday artifacts just went live this past week. Got the blog article up here. With this, also brought the new episode, the Echoes of Light. Almost said agents. Can't words. Words hard. So definitely get on, check some stuff out. We also got the K13 holding, which we've been floating outside of for a while now. Quite a bit of stuff in the system. So there's that specifically. Then we have, let me pull up our other article here. Kind of rapid fire a couple of these out. Oh, come on, Chrome.
And again, this is for PC players.
Yep. Eventually, console players, I know it's annoying that you don't have the full game yet, essentially, but eventually it should get there, I promise. It's just going to take a while. But keep in mind, they have to go through Sony and Microsoft now to do updates as well and get their approval, so it's not as simple as just slapping it on PC. Anyway, for our K13, we have the station itself, and we have a before and after with this, actually. So, any thoughts on that, actually? Anybody? Old system versus new system with K13?
looks like it has a really good bar.
Yeah,
They updated the bar.
it does. It looks like a nice bar. Yeah, I mean, you can't see much of it, but yeah. So you got nothing there, and then you got the bar. So, yeah, it looks like a nice bar. I mean, I know because of the time factor, I went ahead and slotted this project for my KDF fleet, so I'm looking forward to having that in there. But yeah, it looks like a nice old style bar, nice place to chill. So,
Yeah, sadly, I would have you guys on the base to see it, but apparently we have to be at tier 1 to see the inside.
yes.
Kind of figured that.
Yes.
But anyway, I think the lighting, it looks fairly decent, I suppose. I mean, this is one of the ones I'm kind of really indifferent about because I don't see too huge of a difference compared to the old system. But anyway, for our next little thing, we'll check out the Echoes of Light, since that's our next major thing with our episode. We have the Echoes of Light episode that came with our recent, or came as our recent featured episode. If I could words tonight, that would be good. But anyway, some of the rewards we have are the Nausicaan Disruptor Beam Array and the Nausicaan Energy Lance that we'll be getting in week 1. Then it touches briefly on some of the stuff that'll be coming in the next 2 weeks as well. You can choose the Disruptor Beam as the reward for this week. Then also you can get a box of an Enhanced Universal Tech Upgrade or a Captain's Specialization Point. You can get that, I believe it's once per account per week. But,
yes.
And it does bind to account as well, so that's something very nice. If you've got a character that's maxed out and doesn't really need the point, you could send that to one of your other characters. So a very nice little thing there. Then
exactly.
There's the Nausicaan 2-piece bonus, which does a Disruptor Net. It's a chance to hold effect to apply Disruptor damage over time. Then the 3-set bonus is provides an increase to Disruptor damage and hull pen. Actually, I think I have the beam with me, so I might be able to get you guys a little bit
the
better
beam
details.
Does have an interesting feature, an interesting proc. In addition to the normal Disruptor proc, which is minus 10 to resistance, it also, and that's a 2.5% chance to apply, it also has a similar to a leech proc, where it drains minus 2 energy and puts plus 2 energy into your subsystems.
Here we go.
Now,
I'll actually equip the beam right quick. I've got the set bonuses for everybody right quick. We have, not to interrupt, my bad, but anyway. Have the 2-set bonus is the Nausicaan Weaponry Augmentation. The Disruptor Net gains 679.9 Disruptor damage per second for 5 seconds in addition to normal effects. Can be boosted by weapons training and Starship Energy Weapon training. Then we have the 3-set bonus, which is the Nausicaan Power Initiative, which is 26.6 Disruptor damage and plus 50 to hull penetration for starships. So, very cool things that we've got there. But anyway, sorry to interrupt. Go ahead and continue, Kirby.
It's okay. Well, I was going to say, we did do some checking. The Leech proc, or Leech-like proc, that is on the Nausicaan Disruptor does not scale with your drain expertise. And I'm not sure how it interacts with the actual plasmonic leech. I know that previously the adapted Mako shield had an issue for a while where it would cancel out the plasmonic leech if you had them on together. I know that was fixed recently, so I'm hoping, because I haven't had a chance to test it yet, but I'm hoping that the Nausicaan Disruptor doesn't do the same thing. I don't think it will, but it does not scale. We know that it does not scale with your drain expertise. So
Yeah, definitely something we'll have to look into at some point. Maybe if somebody out there has been playing around with it, you know the answer, let us know. Just to, drop us a note and say, hey, I've seen, it doesn't do this, or it does, however you want to do that. But any of these fun new toys you're looking to get a hold of, Artie?
The ground Nausicaan Lance is very fun. It does a lot of damage to a single enemy when you have them in your sights. It's really fun to play with.
Sweet. And this brings us to our next article. We have the Tholian Red Alerts for our console players. You guys should be able to do the Tholian Red Alerts now, which is something that we have on PC here. Essentially, you zone in, you fight some Tholians that are kicking the snot out of some Borg, and you get a bit of marks at the end of it. Every so often, as you're flying around in sector space, you should see an alert pop up, and you should be able to go in.
And I think the biggest thing about the Tholian Red Alerts is the XP boost zone. It does give double XP in that zone, so it's a good way to gain to get your, for example, your ship specializations and things like that banged out if you need to.
I actually forgot about that until you said it, to be honest. But yeah, that's a good thing to do. You can get a little bit of ship specialization, maybe squeak out a little bit towards your next level as well, if you're there for the whole thing.
Yep.
So, very nice little thing to do. But as far as our Tholian Red Alerts go, not really too much to say besides that. But good way to get some of your marks if you're looking for that stuff. This brings us to our next article, which is our Mirror Invasion event on the consoles. And let's see, what do we have for the reward this time around? If I can find it. Ah, there we are. We've got the Admiralty card, the ISS Stoddy, which is kind of interesting this time around. So, for our console players that you're not familiar with this event, this is the first time I believe you guys are actually seeing it. Essentially, you go in there, you shut down some mirror rifts while also powering up the station. Then, you chase a ship around and shut down some more rifts, and then you blow it the heck up. Pretty simple little queue they've got set up. Everything, it is time gated, so it will take about 10 minutes per mission, assuming you're running multiple tunes, of course. But overall, final rewards you'll get is 50,000 dilithium ore, 250 marks of your choice, and the Admiralty card, or Admiralty, however you say it. Either way.
Admiralty. Yes, the ISS
I was half expecting
study.
one of them to give me grief. And, see, there it is. But anyway.
The former teacher, yes. Okay, so the Admiralty card ISS study has 70 engineering, 35 tech, and 30 science. It's a nice little stats.
Indeed. So yeah, quite a bit of stuff going on both sides, on console and PC both, actually. But, then for our PC players out there, we are actually in the midst of a dilithium weekend at the moment. Good lord. And I'll be fetching the DirectX code for somebody after this, but anyway. We have our dilithium weekend for our PC players. 100% bonus dilithium ore from dilithium mining missions, including the rich dilithium claims. 100% more for the daily mining missions at the Fleet Dilithium Mine, and 50% bonus dilithium ore elsewhere in the game. So a quick thing I like to do is going out to the Dyson Battle Zone. You can cap out really, really quickly out there. Even normally about 10-15 minutes a tune. Assuming you go all the way through the dino hunt and get at least 2 of the dinos killed yourself or credit for 2 of them, you should be able to cap out pretty quickly with that. And this will actually just speed that along. So, just curious, any other dilithium methods you guys prefer since we're on this?
Well,
Go ahead.
well, I just sit in hours on end, just mine and mine and mine for 20 characters, and it just gets very boring. So don't follow my suggestion.
Well, I was going to say, I like doing the dinos. I've been spending a lot of time in Dyson this weekend. But another good option, if you have a decent ground game and are willing to do it, is you can go through what we call a ground tour. So you can do like oh goodness, and let's see if I can remember all the missions. Can't speak today. Defend Rattler Station Elite. Bug Hunt Elite. You'd basically do them on Elite to get full credit. Brotherhood of the Sword Elite. Nukara Transdimensional Tactics Elite. Basically, you see where I'm getting at here.
Yeah.
Go through all of these, Go through all of the Elite ground missions, and by the time you're done, not only do you get a pretty good haul of crafting materials and the special high-end crafting thing that for the life of me is not coming to my head right now, but you get a really good haul of dilithium as well.
So, pretty good.
Now I'm going to want to know what that's called.
Pretty good haul of dilithium there. This actually brings us to our second set of patch notes for this week. And not a lot to them. Resolved an issue where players with certain Intel and AMD cards were not seeing most in-game text. I know that was a major issue. Some people were signing in. They couldn't see anything. If they had an interact up, something popped up they couldn't see. It was just essentially appearing as blank. So that should be fixed. Resolved an issue where control options would reset upon closing the options menu. Resolved an issue where 23rd century captains could not obtain or skip stranded in space. Resolved an issue that was causing certain fleet queues to not appear. And also improved the transwarp location for Echoes of Light. You can see some of our known issues there. So that's a...
I'm sorry. I'm sorry,
ahead.
but that last one should have been fixed. The transwarp location. Because it took you straight to New Romulus.
Ooh.
So, that should have been fixed, not improved.
I'm glad I didn't. I'm glad I didn't try that then before they had this little fix in.
Yeah. I mean, if now to be fair, if you hit the transwarp from your active mission menu, it took you to the right location. But if you had clicked on the, that banner on the left-hand side of your mission journal, and you got the hail and the transwarp, and you clicked the transwarp from that, you were heading to New Romulus.
Indeed.
So that should be fixed, not improved.
Yeah, I can agree with you on that one, some, I suppose.
Yeah.
Well, I'll give you that one. But a couple of our known issues that they listed. Obviously, our Foundry's offline for the moment, so that does kind of suck for our Foundry players and our Foundry authors, but that should give everybody time to update it. They are aware that the lighting may be wonky on a few of the maps, might be a little bit too dark or too light. Then they are aware the resolution setting defaulting at too low a number on some graphics cards. And then the temporal agent rewards cannot be claimed on characters which are not temporal agents on the same account. So if you've had that issue, they are aware of it. And then some kits and kit modules not displaying for certain captains. Since they did mention that, I do want to say really quickly for those people that are wondering and logging in, saying, where the heck are my kits? What did they do to my kit modules and everything? You've not lost your kit modules. Everything should still be there. Whenever they did the conversion, all of your old modules were removed from the kit frames. The kit frames themselves are now essentially just stat sticks that can modify your kit powers as well as provide certain other bonuses. So what they did was, whenever they made the conversion, they removed all the old kit modules, they did the conversions, everything. Some of your kit modules may have actually gotten upgraded. So, whereas before you may have had just a standard very rare, now you may have an epic quality kit module. All you have to do, you should just have to look and see it in your inventory. That's where it should appear in most cases. Or perhaps even your overflow bag if you have too much inventory. So those are the two places to look for that. If you're not seeing them, then just be aware that it's probably this issue they're speaking of. And if not, then you're more than welcome to give me a shout. You're more than welcome to tell one of these dudes to get up with me. I know I drive them crazy saying that, but seriously, we do, if there is an issue, we do want to try to help you guys out if we can. But I did want to mention that really quickly anyway. But
Of course.
Mm-hmm.
And oh, go ahead, Artie.
No, none.
Anyway, moving on to our next article, we have our Agents of Yesterday Artifacts rewards. This was a little promotion that they did until 9 a.m. Pacific. It's not available anymore, but if you were wondering what this promotion was, it was a large XP boost, 3 Gamma Duty Officer packs, and an R&D box. You can claim this once per account, but some nice little odds and ends there. So, pretty cool little thing they had.
I think the biggest thing with that was there was some difficulty with the code that they released when they first came out with the artifacts expansion, and so in order to make up for the difficulty that people had redeeming the code, they put it in as a promotion in the C-store for 48 hours as a, here you go, instead of the code, we're going to do this.
Okay, that makes sense. I just kind of logged on, I saw the promotion and everything. It's like, oh, hey, free stuff. But, so that's where that comes from, folks. Sadly, at the time that we've recorded this and we get it up, it won't be available anymore. But for those people that were able to claim it, you know, we wanted to go over that really quickly so folks have an idea of what was going on. But coming up to our next thing, for PC players, we have a 20% off on Duty Officer packs. So if you've been looking to get some Duty Officers, or if you're just interested in cracking a few Duty Officer packs, specifically the Delta pack and the Klingon pack, until Monday, October 31st, now's your chance to go after it. And as it says, perfect chance to fill your roster and replace those red shirts. Yay!
Don't
Gotta love
the
the
red
red
shirts
shirt
get
joke.
donated to fleet office fleet? Let's try that again. Don't the red shirts get donated to fleet projects?
See, now she's doing it.
Hey, I blame my meds. That's my go-to excuse right there.
Makes sense. But anyway, we'll go ahead and hit our last few articles really quickly, then we can get on to some other stuff. But another thing we do have is the 15% key sale on the consoles. So for our console players as well,
yay.
You guys get to enjoy the sale just like we do. It'll be going on until the 31st on 10 a.m. Pacific, so very, very good. If you're looking to crack open some boxes over there, go for that Kelvin Constitution y'all have been after, or perhaps just try your luck at getting some of the equipment, whatever it is, now's your chance to do so. Definitely advise jumping on this if you're looking to get something nice from the lock boxes, but it's a pretty cool thing that we've got there. Moving on to our next article for consoles, we have a lifetime subscription sale. I know this was one thing a lot of the console players were talking about that they were concerned about was the high price for the lifetime subscription. But you can see some of the perks for buying it down here. You get quite a few titles, actually. You get 3 of the Tier 5 Veteran Heavy Destroyers, 1 for each faction, and then you get the Tier 6 versions as well. You get some small craft, 1 for each faction, 4 additional character slots, a bunch of bonus inventory slots, as well as some bank slots, account bank. You get your respec tokens as you level up to a different rank. An additional 1,000 dilithium refinement every 48 hours, which can be very nice whenever you're needing to level some stuff up, or you're just wanting to crank out some dilithium. But you can see the full list of stuff there. It's a 33% sale. So it will be available from the 27th until the 17th at 10 a.m. So now's your chance. If you're looking to go lifetime, get some very nice stuff, I would definitely advise doing it now while it's a lot cheaper.
Yes.
I know a lot of people think, well, I'm dropping this big bunch of cash, but it actually is worth it. When you sit down and you actually compare what they're giving you with what it would cost to buy everything individually in the game, with just the ships themselves, that right there alone is about roughly $120 worth of ships that they're giving you. So that's a good chunk of the price right there. And then you look at the character slots, everything else. Definitely worth it, I think. But anyway, go ahead, Kirby.
I think the biggest thing is that you do get a 500 Zen stipend. At least you do on the PC. I'm looking
I
to see
don't
if
think
it's
the console players
listed
get
here.
that.
Oh.
So that is one thing that does
Okay.
suck, is the console players won't get the 500 Zen stipend like the PC players do.
Oh, that does suck.
It does, but again, even without that, in my personal opinion, it's still worth it.
It is,
Everything,
yeah, it
because
is
you do
still
get a
worth
lot of
it.
stuff. But
You do.
500 Zen, in the grand scheme of things, it's not a terrible lot. It does suck not to get it, but it is, overall, in the long run, you get a lot of stuff. You got your character slots. That alone, I think, is about 1,200 Zen. So another $10, it's about 130. Respecs are pretty nice to have, assuming you're buying them
Yes, they are.
individually. That can add up really quickly.
Yes, it can. Those definitely can. The respects are nice to have. The additional character slots, of course. You can play as a Liberated Borg or a Talaxian on both Fed, KDF, and eventually Romulan. Yeah. So there are some very nice things in here, even without the stipend. But now we're going to have a bunch of players go, wow, we don't get the stipend. Sorry, folks.
Yeah.
But, yeah, it is. I like my lifetime subscription. I'm glad I didn't. I was worried about the cost, but I am glad that I did it in the end. So,
Yeah. Definitely something to check out. We'll have this in the notes for you guys so you can see some of the rewards and everything. But, anyways, we'll go ahead and check out our last article here for the consoles. We'll move on to some of our other stuff and then wrap this bad boy up. Here we have actually some console accolades. We have some statistics for the consoles. Looks like for our captains, we have 1.1 million new players currently on the console. We have 59% of players went to the tactical, 22% are engineers, and 19% are science. Can't say that really
That's
surprised me,
insane.
in all honesty.
yeah.
But as young as STO is on the consoles, I'm glad to see that there seems to be a decent player base starting out.
That's huge.
That's
Yeah.
pretty big. We have 68% of people went to Starfleet, 20% Klingons, and 12% Romulans. So about 752k Starfleet, 220k Klingons, and 132k Romulans. That's still pretty good, I think. pretty good little division. Obviously, the
Yeah.
other two factions kind of gets what's the word I'm looking for? Underutilized, I guess. Could kind of fit here, maybe.
I was going to say they're the redheaded stepchildren.
And there it is.
Please don't tell me that's going to be the title of this episode.
I wasn't going to go that far.
We'll discuss that after the show, but then
Okay.
119 playable starships out there for the console at the moment, and then 2.7 million bridge officers at the moment. There's 48% tactical, 29% engineering, 25% science, so quite a few things there. You can see some of the breakdowns they've got. There's 1,617 fleets in active service at the moment at the last time that they checked that out.
Wow.
Then, ooh, this is actually nice. It gives the most popular starships by console. Now this actually kind of surprises me at some of the ships I'm seeing on here, in a way. For our Xbox One players, we have the Negvar Heavy Battle Cruiser, the Scimitar Dreadnought, and the Eclipse Intel Cruiser as the most popular ships. And for PlayStation 4, we also have the Negvar Cruiser yet again, the Malum Light Warbird, which is the Tier 6 Tavaro, and then we have the Tactical Escort Defiant. So that kind of surprises me.
Nice.
I guess people in PlayStation don't want to be giant whales flying in space.
Shots fired!
Shots fired, man.
Yep, and then some of the celebs featured in game that people can see. We have Leonard Nimoy, before he passed away, was able to do some voice work as Spock. Zach Quinto as the emergency medical hologram. We have Chase Masterson as Lita, Michael Dorn as Worf, Jerry Ryan as 7 of 9, Robert Picardo as the Doctor, Kim Rhodes as Jet Laya, Robert McNeil as Tom Paris, Denise Crosby as Tasha Yar. Then we have Tim
And
Russ
Sela.
and Garrett, and Sela as well. We have Tim Russ, Garrett Wang, and Ethan Phillips, all reprising their roles as Tuvok, Harry Kim, and Neelix. And then finally we have Lisa Lociero. I probably butchered that name. Could guarantee I
Lo
butchered that
Cicero.
name. Thank you. Lo
You're
Cicero as Moral Paris. And then Aaron Eisenberg as Nog, our favorite Ferengi. So definitely some interesting stats. I can honestly say I wasn't expecting some of the breakdowns that it gave us. But overall, looks like a pretty decent population starting out. Hopefully, the console player base will grow as well. I know a lot of people had been wanting to get into it, but weren't able to do so because of PC limitation reasons, or they didn't want to migrate over. But anybody have thoughts on the stats and everything?
I'm impressed at the number of people. 1.1 million in that sort of time. That's awesome. That is amazing.
Indeed. And what about you, Artie? Any comments, anything on the breakdowns, anything?
Well, I'm just honestly completely stunned. Large large groups of people, all in the consoles and all that, all the ships, all that going on. And what I found great was there's 1,617 fleets in service on the consoles. I completely love that. There's just so many people that are just joined up together, and just it amazes me no matter how I look at it.
Sounds good. Then our final article, really quickly, we'll take a look at is the Lucari Community Shipbuilding. This is the final round for voting. If you haven't already voted, it came down to Team Alpha, Team Charlie, and Team Echo. And then I don't think they've actually announced the winner of this yet, but we'll post that up for you guys whenever that does eventually happen. We have the Team Alpha, which was the triangular-looking ship. Then we had Team Charlie, which was essentially our classic flying saucer. And Team Echo, which is our boomerang-type looking thing, or crescent. But for me, I think it's cool. Either I get my classic alien conspiracy triangle, my flying saucer, or a crescent. So either way, I win in this.
Surprise, the Lucari are your new time-traveling aliens and all that.
Dun, dun, dun.
Oh, Lord.
Yeah. I know you're kind of the big guy with the RP stuff, and this would probably interest you more than it would Kirby, Artie, but any thoughts on the 3 ships that are left? Anyone in particular you want to win?
Well, I'm still holding true of what I've said before, like when we were doing the same thing when the Jupiter carrier was coming around. I voted for Echo, or Epsilon, during that time, and went, alright, so this one's going to win. And it won. So I'm going to say it again, and I'll laugh if it wins. But more on the RP aspect, like you said, it's a triangle, a rounded, UFO, and a crescent. So I'm kind of biased that I hope I don't get the just a flying saucer coming at me at full speed. But if that's what we get, that's what we get.
Any thoughts, Kirby?
Well, again, I'm more if it shoots things quickly. I don't care what it looks like. But if I have to choose one of these 3, I'd probably go with Alpha.
That's kind of where I'm leaning towards, too, a little bit, I suppose.
Yeah.
But, anyway, hopefully pretty soon they'll have the official winner announced and everything. We'll be sure to get that information out to you guys as well whenever that happens. But, moving on, we don't have a budget build this week. Normally Timber would have that. He's got some personal stuff he's got to take care of outside of the game. That's why he's not been with us the past couple of episodes. And that's understandable, but we wish him well, and whenever hopefully he's able to come back pretty soon, once he's got that taken care of, we'll be back to business as usual. But anyways, I guess I'm up. Have a couple of bugs I can go over really quickly. On PC, people have actually noticed that the red alerts are gone. I don't think that they've actually been removed. I want to believe that was just an oversight with this patch as to why they're not popping up. So if you've not been seeing the red alerts, then just please be aware that that's probably just a temporary thing, either an oversight with the patch or something's bugged out that's causing them not to spawn. Then we have this one as well from the Artifacts expansion. People are reporting that their bridge officers are running at a very slow pace, so I believe we were actually discussing this earlier, or I was with a couple of people actually. If you're running along and you sprint ahead of your bridge officers, it takes them forever and a day to catch up with you versus staying really close like they normally do. So that is one big thing that I would say to watch out for right now. Try not to get too far ahead of your boss if you're going down into a major combat zone, such as the Dyson zone or the Kabali ground or one of the others. And then a final thing for our PC is some people are reporting they can't replay the Echoes of Light mission on their Agents of Yesterday character. So that's a rather interesting bug. Everything, but if you're seeing this issue, definitely report it, because I can pretty much guarantee that's not intended. Everything. So again, any issues whatsoever, I don't really have much for the console this week. I've not actually been on the console in a little while, so there's that. But anyway, if you see any kind of issues, any kind of bugs, you are more than welcome to let me know. Have one of these guys send me a page and paperwork and everything. I know I give them grief about it, and they like to do that in return, but I did sign up for it. It's mainly so I can help you guys out, because we do want to get rid of as many bugs as we can.
See, I should tell you, every time I log into his server and come down into his channel, the first thing he asks me is, "What'd you break?"
Well, you see, they're so good at it. See, this is why I keep them around. They're very good little test monkeys, and they're good at breaking things. I could give
Test monkey.
I could give any of my crew a new ship or something and be like, "Okay, guys, here you go." And then 5 minutes later, they come back. It's broke, dude. God.
Look, you told me to test
Everything's-
if the glass cup could bounce. I tested it. It shattered on the floor. What else could I say?
This is what I put up with, folks. But in seriousness, it does give me something to do. Keeps me busy, I guess. Even
Then
though
we go, but you. Then we go, but you told us to do it.
yeah,
Yeah,
kinda
so-
did. I suppose.
Anyway.
But anyway, that's pretty much all I've got this week. I am working on some other stuff for you guys. Hopefully that should get fixed pretty soon. Everything. Can't really say what that is yet until it's fixed, obviously, but once it is fixed, then I can let you guys in on a few little things. But anyway, we're coming up on Teacher's Corner this week, and it looks like you did the Solanade,
I
Space
did
set.
another set. Yes.
But,
Well, you know, I
take it
did the
away.
Soul Defense set, and I did the Kobali set, so I figured, okay, let's go a little further back in the episode line and do the next free set you can get, which is the earlier free set you can get, which is the Solanade Space set. So this is available at level 50. So if you're a fresh 50, you don't have anything, you need something, that'll give you some nice bonuses. The Solanade set might be what you're looking for. It does give some nice survivability bonuses. You can get the 3-piece set from playing the episode A Step Between Stars, the first Tuvok episode. If you were around when they did or if you had a character that was around when they did the Dyson Sphere or Dyson Battle Cruiser, I believe it was. Anyway, the Dyson Science Ship. Good.
Science
can't
Destroyer.
Or
Science
Tard.
Destroyer, thank you. Yep. Damn aphasia. Okay, Dyson Science Destroyer. Then you can get the 4-piece set, which includes the warp core, and you can get the secondary deflector, which might be useful for some builds. It does a shield drain, adds a shield drain on certain abilities, or a shield siphon on certain abilities, the secondary deflector, that is. Individually, the Solanade deflector, if you're going for a exotic particle generator build, get the Solanade deflector, put that thing up to ultra rare, and you will get 50 exotic particle gen out of it. That is the single highest source of exotic particle generator from any one piece of gear. So it is a good piece of gear for that, if that's what you're looking for. You can see if you can fit that into your build. As far as the sets, it does give some survivability with the 3-piece set. It gives a passive structural integrity leech, which can be nice. It is a 2.5% chance to get it, but it is a nice little heal. It's passive. So, the 4-piece is... oh, good God, now it's going to fail me. Hold on, I can do this. The 4-piece is another ability. Let me switch starships because my brain just went, no, I'm not going to work. Thank you, meds. So, my brain just went, no, I'm not going to let you know what the piece bonus is off the top of your head. Okay, so I'm going to look it up. Because like any good person, I know how to do that. Okay. There we go. The 4-piece. 4-piece reduces your outgoing damage by 20%, flight speed by 50%, but gives you 600 all damage bonus resistance rating, and gives you essentially a reverse shield polarity. because it gives you plus 50 shield power setting and converts 50% of incoming energy damage into shield restoration. So that is, as we said last week, a clickable ability. So, and that's called the Advanced Metaphasic Shields. But yeah, so it's a nice little set. The thing I like the most, it's fresh 50. So you can be level 50, you can run this episode 3 times. Boom, you got a set that'll help your survivability a little bit. The 2-piece bonus I might have forgot to mention is the cyclical shield conduits. It gives a little bit of extra shield power and a little bit of extra shield power setting. So just basically a little bit of extra shield. So, but the structural integrity leech can be nice to have in the advanced metaphasic shields. Is a nice oh shit button, as it were, because that damage resistance is really going to help when you're in the fire there. Any comments?
I really like the ship itself, the set itself. I sadly don't get to use it as often since I don't have a complete drain build or anything, but it is a very nice set if you're needing something to go sciencey and stuff. So it's easy to grab, and there you go.
Yeah.
I know I've used it a few times on lower level tunes whenever I've been wanting to tank. I've just hit 50. Don't really want to use an Aegis set, but I've got a nice little something. And it's
Yeah.
it does pretty good for that, I think. Obviously, there's better sets for tanking, such as obviously the Kobali, maybe the Soul Defense, something like that. But even then, it's still pretty nice.
Yeah, but again, I mean, those aren't available until you get to much higher levels. 56 for the Kobali, 59 for the Soul Defense. So this is a nice placeholder set until you can get there.
Indeed.
So yeah.
Oh, this place got really sciencey, but yeah, it took me a minute to find the ship in this massive list of stuff that I've got, but anyway, moving on to our last and final segment of the evening, we have our RP Corner with Artie, and this week it's K13 and you. Take it away, dude.
Okay, since K13 has been the newest addition to the game and the newest fleet holding, there has been a little chatter from what I've heard between a few RP groups of what they will do with it. Some people have taken it as they've just received basically a new station, a new outpost, and they're going to use it for their long-range expeditions and all that since the start, and keep it like a little distance between them and the starbase, the regular starbase, as a forward outpost, have another. It's basically having 2 starbases for some RP communities. From how you get it, that is always been different between each fleet from what I've heard. Some of them just went, oh, Starfleet Corps of Engineers just went, yeah, we got a new outpost out there. It's all yours. All you have to do is take these parts and put it together. Okay. Some people, as my fleet, took a little temporal stuff around and bend a few rules, and had a little story going on that the Davidians did what they were going to do to Drozana Station, did it on a smaller target first as like a test bed, and then failed to bring it back over. And when it did come back over, it appeared, and we kind of just went, all right, it's ours now. We'll just have to fix it and have someone do some investigating on it. So, other people have actually just played it off as, yeah, it's K13, it went through time, and it's now ours, because that's how it worked out in the mission, or whatever. Yeah, spoiler alert, you get it at the end of the mission. Haha. So, there's that. There's not really much to it. I haven't been able to get inside yet since there's so much you have to do to get to Tier 1, but a lot of people have been having fun trying to find a in-character way of getting into the game.
Indeed.
What do you guys think about it?
I do have to say, I like the shout out that it does to the fleets in the mission. So, a little bit of a spoiler with some of the stuff we're talking about regarding the mission. I think that needs to be said too. But at the end of it, it says, oh yeah, we're counting on, and then your fleet name to take control of it, build it up, and everything. I think it's actually kind of cool. Maybe get some more
Yes,
fleets
it is.
interested in the RP community, perhaps.
Yeah, me personally, as soon as I saw them, like, oh, they mentioned me! They mentioned the fleet! Oh my goodness, guys! So, there's that.
Any thoughts, Kirby?
Sounds interesting. I'm shooting asteroids out here. I would not just
She
shoot
would.
asteroids. Squirrel! Anyway. No, it sounds interesting. I do like the shout out that the fleet gets at the end of the story. So I'm curious, how many fleets are creating extra or extraneous reasons that they're getting the base, rather than simply going with the storyline? Or is there a reason they don't go with the storyline?
Some have gone with that. They don't want it from the storyline because most fleets, or at least from the ones I've been able to talk to, don't exactly connect straight into the story. Like, when you play the story, the fleet that you join or something is not their fleet, because there's going to be 3 or 4 other fleets that say the same exact thing, that their fleet is the
Okay.
fleet. So they go, alright, so we'll sidestep a little bit, saying we're one of the fleets off to the left of the fleet, of the star fleet that you're a part of, or something. And they take care of things, and when a new fleet holding appears, they go, alright, so we gotta figure out, say, this is now a lower tier part of the station, or this is an outpost that we're getting. So, I feel like my fleet did such an extraneous job saying, hey, the Davidians testbed this thing to try to make a hole between their their realm and ours, and they're now coming over with an invasion force. We should stop them, and we did quite easily. Yeah, we went all Ghostbusters on them, and took them out with some proton rifles. It was quite insane.
Cool. That's pretty cool.
Yeah. Haven't heard of anything too extraneous. The most of the RP community, I guess you would say, as extraneous would be they just went along with the story. Like, yeah, our fleet is the fleet, and we just get it the way as they wrote it down. But I've yet to really see a fleet
Okay.
say that.
Okay.
Sounds pretty good. But anyways, folks, that pretty much brings us to the end of the show for this week. Hopefully you've enjoyed everything. I know there was quite a bit of stuff to go over when we got started a little bit late. Hopefully we'll be back to normal next week as far as that goes. Kind of had to update my XSplit on the fly. Was not expecting that, so that's my excuse anyway. But anyways, folks, we'll have everything in the show notes for you guys. You'll be able to check that out. Check out some of the articles, some of the patch notes and everything. But as always, folks, if you have any issues, anything, as far as bugs with the new stuff, feel free to get them to me somehow and everything. But for now, folks, this is the Pilot Review Show, and we're warping on out of here.
See ya.
See ya.
Peace out,
We
folks.
have an intruder.